1, 2, 3, 4.
Chant down Babylon kingdom, that make we chant down Vatican now. Bang bang bang, chant down Babylon kingdom, that make we chant down Vatican now. Chant down Babylon kingdom, that make we chant down Vatican now. Bang bang bang, chant down Babylon kingdom, that make we chant down Vatican now.
What up, y'all? It's Babylon 5 Podcast. It's your boy, Jermaine Babbles. How are you guys doing? I'm feeling fantastic. This is episode 101. Calling this bad boy, We Are the Champions, ladies and gentlemen. As I've been saying for weeks, we're going to the ship. We went, we came, we saw, and we cleaned up house. We cleaned up house and we brought home the championship. The Milwaukee Bucks are your NBA champions. Congratulations to Giannis, the finals MVP. Congratulations to Chris Middleton, just the realest nigga on the team. Or PJ Tucker, who could be the realest nigga on the team. Or Bobby Portis, who is the most Milwaukee nigga on the team. Shout out to the Milwaukee Bucks on winning the NBA championship. The Larry O'Brien title is home, ladies and gentlemen. It's where it belongs. It's where it belongs. It's here. Right here in Milwaukee. And I'm going to give you guys social medias. If you want to follow this podcast on Instagram and Twitter, it's at Babylon5Pod. You can follow my personal account at My Name's Jermaine. You can email this podcast at Babylon5Podcast@gmail.com. You can listen to this podcast, you can follow this podcast at Babylon5.podbean.com. And you can listen to this podcast as well on Podbean, Stitcher, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, YouTube, my nigga, pretty much anywhere podcast stream. You see, I like to say it that way because it ties into the Stitchers. That's how I like to do that. If you bros are on Xbox, go ahead and add me. Gamer tag is SauceToBoss414. If you guys are on Twitch, add me at twitch.tv/Babylon5. You can check out some merchandise at teespring.com/store/BOFpod-shop. We got leggings, t-shirts, baby clothes, nigga, everything. Whatever you need, just check it out. It's there. Go buy some things at teespring.com/store/BOFpod-shop. And don't just be my Negroes, be my patrons. Be my patrons. Go to patreon.com/Babylon5Pod and be my patron today. As I said, I brought down the tiers. I'm King Latifah out here. I'm bringing down the tiers. Breaking all the tiers. And it's just $1 tier now. So join that Patreon. Go to patreon.com/Babylon5Pod and be my patron. Be my patron. And also, lastly, because I forgot to tell you niggas to join that Discord. I have not put it in the notes, but go join my Discord at Babylon5Pod. And if you guys are on TikTok, go ahead and add me at Babylon5Podcast. I just remember I forgot to post the Lo-Fi Sunday post. I posted it on Instagram. That's where I post daily. So I posted the beat that I made for Lo-Fi Sunday. It's called Burials. So that's on Instagram. I forgot. I just realized now that I didn't post it to TikTok, but I posted the video to Instagram. So check that out if you will. It's hot as a motherfucker today. And in the studio here, when I'm recording, I definitely don't, especially as I'm recording this, I don't want any extra noise. So the windows are closed. There's no fans on. And I'm sweating, ladies and gentlemen. Hot tamale, I'm sweating. Woo! That's how I used to say that. Y'all niggas know, if you don't know, there was a song by Trinidad James. He was like, pop the molly, I'm sweating. Woo! Pop the molly, I'm sweating. Woo! And that was a real hot song. But I'd be at work. I remember I was living in Madison. That song was popular. And it'd be like hot as fuck in Madison. Like Milwaukee, you think you've seen a warm day? Nigga, go to Madison in the summer. Just be there for a week. And you're like, holy fuck, how do you guys live like this? It's so fucking hot, and it gets insanely humid. I think what we were surmising, because this is what all you can do in that heat, is just try to talk about, like, why it's so hot here. Why is it so hot here? That's all we could do in Madison, was sit around in the summer and talk about, like, holy fuck. Why is it so hot here? Everybody's sleeping on their fucking balcony, their fucking upstairs porch and shit. You know what I'm saying? Sleeping on their porches. And it doesn't matter if it's upstairs, downstairs. Everybody's sleeping outside because putting a fan in the window won't help. Putting a fan on yourself, like, it just won't help. Unless you had air conditioning in your apartment, people were sleeping outside. And all you could talk about was, like, I think it's because there's that little lake over there, there's that little lake over there, there's that little lake, and because we got all these little lakes in such a short distance, that's why it's, like, insanely humid. Like, Madison, Wisconsin in the summertime on the wrong day is unbearable. Unbearable. That's why I would be at work, and, like, it was air conditioned there. I never wanted to leave, to be honest with you. I would work all day if they'd let me. But I'd be in there. If you have to leave, because there's certain reasons you had to leave and go outside, come back in, I'd be like, hot tamale, I'm sweating. Woo! Because if you go outside, it's like, that fucking mugginess just grabs you. The air is thick in Madison in the summer. The air is thick in Madison. I remember one time me and Mo were in Milwaukee, and then I think we probably had a show that weekend, and then we had to go, like, back to Madison later, and because we lived in Madison at the time. And it was, like, perfect weather in Milwaukee. Perfect summer weather. It was like, damn, today's beautiful. And then and it was almost, like, a little cold, because I remember I put a jacket on. You know what I'm saying? It was, like, sunny, maybe, like, 72 with, like, a little bit of a breeze. It felt perfect outside. And then we get to Madison, like, an hour later, and it's like, ugh, bro, what the fuck? What's going on? I gotta take the jacket off? It's nasty out here. Like, put the air conditioner on the car, keep the windows up. It's nasty up here. We went to the fucking bayou. I've never been to a swamp or no southern shit like that, but when I see it in the movies and people just got the clothes sticking to them and shit like that, that's Madison in the summer. That's Madison in the summer. It's nasty. I remember we would sit on the porch. I was singing, one summer, because this is how I realized everybody was out there. When we lived with the guy Glenn, if you guys are long time listeners, first time callers, if you're a long time listener, you know, a long time ago, I apologized to my old roommate Glenn. Glenn had this guitar for a little bit before he got drunk and just left it outside and somebody stole his guitar. But when he had his guitar, I remember one of these summer nights, there was this, just to dig a little more into the story, there was a liquor store about 2 blocks, like a block and a half away from where we lived on Doty Street. And that fucking liquor store, for whatever reason, at a certain time, had these, like, it was like $10 for a 24-pack of, like, bottled IPAs. For whatever reason. Maybe they were shitty, you know what I'm saying? But fuck it, me and my boys were like, well, we're buying those. They were like it was probably like 8% beers. Like, they were some strong IPAs. We get fucked up off these IPAs. So we bought these IPAs. People had probably whatever they had. But it's so hot, you could just, all you could do is really just keep drinking the cold beverages. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like the fucking desert in Madison in the summertime. It's so nasty. It's so nasty in Madison in the summertime. And I remember sitting on the porch, and I had my back to the street, and I'm just singing one of my favorite songs, which is which is Inside of You by Infant Sorrow, which goes, old as ancient skies, I've had these wandering eyes, but you took me by surprise when you let me inside of you. Inside of you, inside of you, there's got to be some part of me inside of you. I'm pretty sure I sang that as an intro here, as a little homage to back in the day when we used to get it in. But I was singing this. I remember I'm drunk, stumbling over lyrics at some point, and we were just playing the guitar, and they can see the street. Everybody, like Glenn, he's playing his guitar. He's facing me. He can see the street. Everybody else can see the street, but my back, I'm just drinking my beers that I have with me and just singing this song on the fucking balcony. And, like, by the time I get up, I finish my beer, and I get up to go get a new beer, and I come back, and I see that, like, everyone on the block was out on the porch just watching the show of him playing his guitar and me singing Inside of You by Infant Sorrow. You know what I'm saying? That was just like the most Madison moment of my life, I'd feel like, other than every other moment. Madison is a very particular city. You got very specific moments that happen in Madison. You tell me some shit, I could already cut you off like, oh, buddy, did it happen in Madison, Wisconsin? And it's like, oh, yeah, it did happen in Madison. Yeah, I called it because I know. Because that's just only certain shit happens in Madison. Shit goes down a certain way in Madison, Wisconsin. But, I don't know how I got on that. I was saying it's hot here. It's hot in this fucking room here. Ladies and gentlemen, my wife just revealed to me that she was a fan of Nelly as a child. She knew the lyrics to Pimp Juice. You know? She knew the lyrics to Pimp Juice, which threw me off. Because she didn't know a lot of, she didn't know, like, the big timers and all that back in the day, you know, the Still Flies. I think she knew the rock. A lot of white people know the rock version of Still Fly. I forget which band it is. There's some punk rock band that sings Still Fly. I met some people that didn't know Still Fly was originally a rap song. They thought it started out as that fucking rock song. Gayer Boots. They thought it started out that way. Nigga, no. That's a song from my childhood, young lady. It's from my childhood. But, yeah, so she, she didn't grow up on too much hip-hop, but she fucking knew the Pimp Juice lyrics that I was referencing, young ladies and gentlemen. My wife revealed to me that she was a fan of Nelly. And I've always just gone back and forth. Like, sometimes I'll put Nelly on, I'm like, damn, Nelly was the truth back in the day. And then on the same album, I'll be like, damn, was Nelly even good? On the same album, I'll be like, damn, was he actually even good? Like, he'll have such suspect shit in hindsight for me personally as a hating ass nigga. I'm thinking that I was like, nigga, ain't your next note here is to talk about your own music, and now you hating on Nelly, one of the most successful hip-hop artists of all time? Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Nah, but it's real shit. In the same day, if I put some Nelly on, like from song to song, I'll be like, damn, Nelly underrated. Then the next song, I'll be like, damn, maybe he wasn't underrated. Maybe he was overrated. Then I go to the next song, I'm like, nah, this nigga cold. Then I go to the next song, I'm like, whoa, hold on, who is this? Why did he write that? Why did he put that out? And the next song, I'm like, oh yeah, this nigga cold. And then next song, I'm like, oh shit. Oh shit. How is this the same person? How is this the same person? But my wife revealed to me that she was a Nelly fan back in the day, ladies and gentlemen. My wife revealed to me. Man, the genius, as I've told you guys, the genius, Andy Action. My boy Andrew sent me some mixes today. A little sheets, a few sheets to the wind. Had a small Sunday fun day today. Just, if you guys are listening, you're like, yeah, this nigga sound crazy. Yeah, it's a Sunday fun day. Yeah, it's a Sunday fun day. Don't you know? Had a little Sunday fun day. Don't you know? And, yeah. And as we got to that bar, ladies and gentlemen, we went to At Random. If you're a Milwaukee native, a Bayviewian, then you know all about At Random. They give, it looks like, one of those old school diners. Like, as my eyes started to adjust to the lighting in there, I was like, oh, it looks like an old school diner. They give you boozy, like, ice cream shakes kind of deals. And I didn't get an ice cream shake. I got, like, just regular alcoholic drinks. Like, regular, like, big cocktails and shit. Like, fancy cocktails. No ice cream shit. But, it would look like a diner. But the lights are low, with, like, red lights and shit in there. I was like, yo, this is, like, strip club decor. If I've ever been there. I'm not saying I've ever been to a strip club, ladies and gentlemen. But what I am saying is, if I had ever been to a strip club, and then I went to that fucking bar at random, I'd be like, yo, it seems like somebody's gonna come. It seems like some very old lady that I feel like is too old to still be working here is gonna aggressively ask me to pay her for a lap dance right now. I'm gonna say, yo, I just got here. I'm just chilling. And it's like, well, no, I'll give you half off right now. And it's like, no, lady, I'm fine. I'm fine. And she's like, no. I'll do you and your friend right now. And you're like, no. Get away from me. But that's just hypothetically, if I had ever been there, that's the kind of situation that might occur in that kind of atmosphere. At random. That's the kind of situation that I felt like would have occurred there. And while we were there, I got the email from Andy Action. That's where we were coming from there. I got the email from Andy Action about these mixes, and I was just listening to them right before I started recording. I forgot to listen. I was going to listen to them on the way from the bar. I was like, yeah, it's the best to put these on right now, hear it on these speakers, and really get that contest. But then I was just like, I forgot to listen to them. I got home, and like, right before I started recording, I was like, let's listen to some shit. And I put them on, and I'm like, fuck, these songs are great. I'm going in the studio this week, actually. I'm going to the studio this week. And it's so nice that he sent me these mixes. I've been writing some new shit. I don't know if I'm going to record any of these songs that I've been writing to that day when I'm going to record this week. But I got the homie Sean Smart, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if I'm revealing too much here, but you know him from Feeling So Fly Like a Cheesehead, ladies and gentlemen. Sean Smart is on my album. I think I mentioned before that he was blessing me with a 16, and he's recording that this week, so that's pretty fucking cool. And I was hearing the mixes, and I'm like, dude, yes, this is what I needed. This shit sounds cool. I made all the beats. I'm gonna let you guys even hear a little bit because I fucks with y'all. Yo, this is Babylon 5 Podcast. We in the D. And alright. But this is like, man, I was like, damn, this song kind of turned out like how I was hoping it would, you know? It's just like, man, this could really turn out into something, and it sounds pretty cool. I'm gonna play some of it. I don't think I'm gonna play the whole thing for y'all. Let's play a little bit. At least I know I can play my own shit. Yeah. I'm not gonna get fucking... They're not gonna take down my fucking account for playing my own music. Yeah. Yeah. I'm so happy he kept that in there. Yeah.
I'm on my own level. Welcome to Jermaine Babbles. I'm on your mind all the time. I ain't paying rent.
Niggas weak.
He got the same flows and the same old beat that we heard last week. Take a chance. I bet the chance is flattered that you made a little wave with your awkward invitation. Niggas funny. Nothing like Chappelle. Now I doubled up the grind. We gon' see who prevails. We gon' see
who the freshest.
I never understood.
Suburban ass niggas try to claim the hood when they never seen a black. Wish he could. Up on my block. Never crook nor rook. I'm a king on the board.
Just a couple shots I took, but I
got a million boards.
Stats couldn't tell you what I
bring to the court.
And I ride my own wave. I don't need your damn support.
What? Yeah. Jermaine event.
Show up.
Yo, y'all niggas ain't ready for that. Y'all ain't ready for that. I'm like, this turned out pretty fucking cool. Alright? I'm listening to that and all the other songs that I was working on for this project so far. I'm like, damn, this shit's turning out pretty fucking cool. It's turning out pretty cool. So, yeah. Niggas might want to jump on that fucking bandwagon right now, because shit's going up. I'm trying to play the previews for you guys so you niggas know what's about to go down, alright? And I'm playing that song for you guys because that's the song that I'm pretty certain will not be a single out of the songs there. You know what I'm saying? Do you guys understand what I'm saying for you? Like, if you vibe with that song, I'm playing that song right now because I know that song won't be the single. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? This album's fire. Alright? This album's fucking fire. Shout out to me. Shout out to Nate, though. Shout out to Nate Fisher. He currently doesn't have any beats on this project, but he sent me some beats, as I said to you guys, and I fucks with him super hard. I don't know if he's going to make it on this project, but he's going to make it on one soon. The beats he sent me are fire. They're so fire, I'm going to be real with you niggas. I was playing them, and my wife came in here, and she thought it was my beat, and she's like, damn, babe, I like this. It's like, it's not my beat. It's not my beat. But it's fire. You should like it, because Nate makes fire-ass music. Shit's like, he was just like, when I was listening to it the first time, I was, getting inspired already. That's like some of my favorite songs, as I've mentioned here, were like the shit that I've written to Nate's music. Even like, well, I think, what was it, Ichabod Crane, or like Ichabod Crane and one of those other ones, maybe even No Feng Shui. I think No Feng Shui, for the most part, those were like 2 years old. I wrote those songs like 2 years before, but didn't really have the means to record it, or didn't really know how. I mean, if I really knew where I could go, I don't know how long. I have to look into like how long Silver City was around, but I'm pretty sure I could have gone there. I just didn't know the means and just the know-how of where to go, people who were professional You know what I'm saying? I just didn't really know where to go. And the people that I'd worked with, as far as mixing and all this, definitely weren't this professional. It's crazy. Like, so as I'm saying, like, I just didn't know where to go. And this is just like my favorite music that I've recorded. Just when I write, like, you know what I'm saying? I get inspired by what's present. If I'm writing to a beat, like, I'm inspired by the beat. You know what I'm saying? And the shit that he makes inspires some pretty creative shit out of me. So shout out to Nate, because we're gonna make some pretty good music real soon here. But I just played that song for you guys. That song is called what it is. I mean, it's pretty obvious what it's called. But yeah, man, that song sounds fucking cool. Because, you know, as I was saying, if you're long time listeners, or even whatever, if you're fans, if you guys checked out the interview I did with Mr. Nice Guy, I was saying, like, a big thing of it when I write music, I'm thinking about how it comes across when I'm performing, or if I'm performing this song. Do I feel like this is high energy? This is something that I should be performing in front of a crowd. So you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of like heavy bass in there, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then with that sample in the chorus, you're the realest thing I have. That bass, like, that's so like when I can make my own beats and get my hands into every fucking element of it, like, this is what you're gonna get out of Jermaine event. I'm thinking about performing, like, as I'm putting the beat together. So I'm excited for this project. Still Bitter is about to be fire, and I cannot wait. I'm doing everything right for this. It's going to be proper cover, proper promotion, all that shit. Like, it wasn't like I didn't do proper promotion for the Grump. It was that I couldn't because of the cover. Whenever I tried to promote that album, it would be like, nope, you're smoking a cigarette on the cover and we can't promote smoking. So I couldn't really promote it. I could promote the videos that I did, or I could promote Can I, because there was no smoke in the video, but I can't promote the Feel Like No One video because there's smoke in the video. But I can promote the All Eyes on Me video because there's no smoke, because I learned those lessons, you know. But this is where it's going to be. Still Bitter. This project's about to be fire. It's about to be pretty great. But as I mentioned at the start of this podcast, ladies and gentlemen, at the start of this podcast, I mentioned that the Milwaukee Bucks are the NBA champions. You have Giannis, the finals MVP. We finally end a 50-year drought. And it's funny because, you know, Bucks win in 6, as Brandon Jennings is famous for saying. He was at the parade. Shout out to Brandon Jennings. It was just a pretty cool experience for this all to happen. I did not go to the parade. I don't know. My wife was busy. She was getting a tattoo. And otherwise, I couldn't really find anybody that I knew was going to be there to kick it with. I wasn't going to just, like, show up. Because I was like, I don't know, to be honest with you guys, I've never been to a parade. As I'm thinking about it right now, I've never been to a parade in general. So, in my mind, like, literally in my mind, I was thinking, like, we would, like, follow. It would be, like, more like a march, but I don't think that's the situation. I think everybody just lines up. And then they all just, like, go down the line and pass everybody and wave and do whatever, which I don't think is that cool. So when my wife wasn't able to go, I was like, yo, I'm not, unless I can find people, like the homies that are really trying to go, then maybe I'll stop down. But, like, I felt like the whole thing was, like, a little much. And I also felt like it was amateur fucking hour. You know what I'm saying? It's like, pardon me for being upset. But when I was saying to my wife, she was like showing me pictures of like, or these articles. They're building all these new apartment buildings over here. They're building this shit over here. All these new things are popping up all over the city. And I'm like, do you know why this is happening? Because the fucking Milwaukee Bucks are here. Not necessarily, well, they won a championship. And that's fucking phenomenal for the city. Price is going up. But the fact that Giannis is here and the team is profitable, now more business is here. I was saying to people, I remember when I have this argument here that like I'm sick of all these people jumping on the bandwagon when I was trying to say, yo, we need this team here, and they were like, nah, the Bucks suck, they never win, we don't need the team. Like when they were talking about building a new arena or getting rid of the team, a lot of people were like, let's just get rid of the city. Let's just get rid of the team. Yada, yada, yada. And I was like, no, we need them here. And I was literally saying to these people, like, business is going to grow because the Bucks are here. And they're like, yeah, right, the Bucks never win, blah, blah, blah. And they wouldn't go. And as I've said here, like, what came first, the fucking chicken or the egg? Like, you niggas don't go to the game so it doesn't seem profitable to have the team here, so nobody wants to sign here, or nobody wants to play here, and then people just suddenly stop showing up to the games. Like, it's a chicken or the egg situation. But I would make this argument, like, we need, like, with this team, like, and my basis of my argument was Giannis Antetokounmpo. Having Giannis was the basis of my argument. Like, we need this team here because of Giannis. And now the city's flourishing. So I didn't go to the parade. I didn't need to be there. It was like insane amount of people there. I didn't go to the Deer District when it was expected to be 65,000 people there. I didn't go there. Because I used to go to the Bradley Center when there was max capacity 20,000 people. And there was only like 100 of us there. So much so that I recognized faces. I was there watching Giannis struggle to win 15 games. I was there watching these games when they couldn't give away tickets. For us, for me and those people, me and that other 99, like, we're happy. We deserve this championship because we were there saying, watch that guy. Watch that guy. For years. So I don't need to go there and be near that fucking random 65,000 when me and that other 99 were the only people that gave a shit to show up when they were a lottery team. We're the only ones that gave a shit to show up to the Bradley Center. They have the fan zone because you guys wouldn't show up to the games. That's why the fan zone exists. Because people wouldn't pay money to go to games. That's what it is. So I don't need to go to no parade with you fucking posing ass niggas. And I seen articles, people posting some shit, or not articles, people post about how, like, people, the same motherfuckers, that's what I'm saying, there's 65,000 people. I guarantee probably 60,000 of those were some of the people who were like, I'll never support the Bucks again just a year ago when Giannis and the Milwaukee Bucks were wearing Black Lives Matters t-shirts or whatever, or it was I Can't Breathe t-shirts for the fucking George Floyd protests, and people were en masse saying, I'll never support the Milwaukee Bucks again. Boom. How did 65,000 people show up? You're telling me none of you guys felt that way? None of you guys were like against? None of you guys hated all the shit that they were standing for? None of you guys felt like we don't need the Bucks here because they lose? Like, how do you celebrate the victories when you were like, get rid of them, we don't need them here? And the second this team turns around and you're like, oh shit, let's go watch the Bucks. Like, no, you should be like, fuck the Bucks. They were terrible for years. I don't care that they're winning right now. That's what your stance should be. It should be fuck the Bucks. But you guys like are now, it's like, I've been a Bucks fan this whole time. When I see all these people with this expensive ass gear on and shit like that, it's like, dude, go fuck yourselves. It's nice to be a fan right now. You weren't a fan. You weren't a fan when they needed fans. When they were trying to sell the team, you weren't there. You literally weren't there. But now that they're winning, you got all the expensive tickets. You got all the gear. You're writing the Bucks songs. You people are crazy. So I didn't go to the parade. Because that victory was really for me, those gentlemen on the team, that organization, and those other 99 that showed up to the games when they struggled to win 15. That showed up to the games cheering on a rookie Jabari Parker, a second-year Giannis Antetokounmpo, watching head coach Jason Kidd. Those guys, me and those other 99. That's who that championship was for. So I didn't go to the parade. And I wasn't at the Deer District for the victory. Because it's amateur hour out there. There's so many people I saw posting videos from the Deer District when we won. And it's like, nigga, I've spoken to you in your face and you've said the Bucks suck. I've spoken to you in your face and you said the Bucks suck. You can't be down there because they win, because they're winning. You can't be down there now because they're winning. That's crazy. That's crazy. I didn't go to that parade. Another sad news, fucking Kanye West was supposed to drop his new album, Donda, again for the second year. Shout out to Nate once again. Nate hit me up like, yo, bro, are you listening to the album? Do you have a link? What's going on? And I was like, no, bro, I don't have a link because he did it to us again. He did it to us again. And by that, I mean, like, Kanye West was supposed to drop Donda in 2020. If you guys are quick to forget, this album was supposed to drop 2020. And then the day came and the day went and everybody forgot. Because I remember when he announced he was running for president, and most people that I knew and myself surmised that it was an album rollout. He had an album coming. Then they announced Donda's coming. And it was like, well, clearly that's what's happening. This is part of his album rollout. But the album never came. The album never came. And he was kind of like nuclear. People weren't really fucking with Ye right, at the time. So, and when the buzz for this album coming out now, like, started, it was, like, really positive. People were ready for a new Kanye album. He just divorced Kanye, or he and Kim just split. From what I'm hearing, he's swearing on this album. People are ready for a new Kanye album. And then it just never came out. Once again. Sorry. Just, once again, he let us down. And I guess it is what it is at this point, man. I thought Yeezy season was here, but from what I'm hearing, like, Jay-Z's on the album, they're friends again. But for all I know, that's a lie because the album ain't here. I ain't heard that album. I just checked. Still not out. It's still not out. And if he's friends with Jay-Z, then I got Tidal. So you think it'd be there. But it's not there. So maybe 2022 we'll get a new Kanye album. I don't know. I've been listening to a lot of old Kanye lately since the announcement. Just getting ready for this new Ye. Well, even after it was like, shit, it ain't out yet. I was like still listening to old Ye because, damn, this nigga's cold. It's like y'all put so much hate on him, you almost forget how fucking talented he is. He's fucking cold. So, I don't know. I wish he dropped this album. Hopefully next week we can review the album. I hope it drops, but feels like as we go along, it just won't come out. You know, they had a whole listening party in an arena. Kim Kardashian was there. That was wearing matching outfits. Had the kids there. And then he just don't drop the album. So, I wish he would. Then on the same, like probably the next, so Kanye was supposed to drop the album on a Friday, I believe. Yeah, on Friday. And so we were watching the episode of Dave that I think came out on Wednesday. Me and my wife and I were watching it on Thursday. And you got Dave, like, dancing to Blood on the Leaves. The whole episode he's talking about, like, embracing his inner Kanye. And if Kanye wasn't the way that he is, then he wouldn't be Kanye. All this great positive things to say about Kanye. It's just like, if you niggas ain't watching Dave, you're fucking losing. It's a fucking great TV show. And just him having them Kanye moments in this most recent episode was just pretty beautiful for me. I just needed to quickly touch on the show Dave, because Blood on the Leaves is easily one of my favorite Kanye songs, if not my favorite. Like I've always said my favorite Kanye song is Lost in the World, but Blood on the Leaves is probably easily number 2, if not number 1, if we're being real. I barely listen to Lost in the World, if we're thinking about it. I listen to Blood on the Leaves a lot. So if we're being real, Blood on the Leaves is probably my favorite Kanye song. And he's got the moment, because he's talking about how great Kanye is and embracing his inner Kanye and just trying to find this motivation. And then he puts Blood on the Leaves and is just dancing to it. And it was just the coolest fucking moment for Jermaine as a young Kanye stan. So if you guys are in there, if you guys are just, bored, you got Hulu, fucking check out Dave, because it's fucking phenomenal. I found a lot of inspiration in that, and pardon me 1 second. Some cool shit just happened. The Prince of All Saiyans, Prince Vegeta, he just unlocked a brand new form, ladies and gentlemen. This is for all my smokers, all my Vegeta fans who've been waiting so long for this man to just, have a comeuppance. And this is, in the latest issue, Dragon Ball Super 74, it ends with Vegeta having a new form. But one thing I thought was real crazy, I thought a few things were crazy with Dragon Ball Super, honestly. And I just don't understand what's going on with these stories that they're writing here. Like, that's what I was saying, like, with Moro. I was like, bro, you have this one technique, and they all keep like, fuck, we gotta train because we can't stop this energy-absorbing technique, which leads to Vegeta learning the fucking technique, the fission separation or whatever, I forget what it's called. But he learned that attack just solely to stop Moro's, or to have a counter to Moro absorbing everyone's energy. But Moro came to the planet and then was never absorbing anyone's energy. It's like, why are you having straight up battles with these people? Like, let me test my abilities against you. As if I haven't just right away absorbed everybody's energy. He wasn't doing the attacks. So that was an issue that I've had for a while here. And then you have this guy, Granola, who grants a wish to be the most powerful warrior in the universe. And I thought it was pretty silly that he was doing these abilities. He does an attack, it looks like he does a Hakai, which is destruction. And people were like, no, he's not doing a Hakai, he wouldn't know that, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, dude, he's clearly doing it. Like, look at the wording that they're saying. They're saying he's using destruction. Alright? That's what that's how it was worded. I'm like, look how it's worded. They're clearly saying that. But everyone else is like, nah, it's not Hakai because it wouldn't make sense. But I'm like, dude, they're wording it as if he just did a Hakai. And he was learning all these attacks. He somehow learned how to sense energy. And as I mentioned, Frieza had to train to do that. Had to train to learn to do that technique. It wasn't like he got to a certain power level and then suddenly knew how to fucking sense other people's energy levels. He had to train to do that technique. But Granola makes a wish to raise his power level and suddenly has full knowledge of this technique. Full mastery of this technique, which is crazy. Then he does a Hakai, crazy. Has full mastery, crazy. They show him moving super fast and they were like, oh, it kind of looked like instant transmission. No, he's doing instant transmission. So in this fucking new arc, in this new episode, this new issue, if you will, Dragon Ball Super 74, at one point in this shit, Vegeta uses his Hakai against Granola, and Granola says, your destruction is... I was like, your destruction? How do you already know what the fuck he's doing? Vegeta didn't know what the fuck this was until they just started training him months ago. And now you made this wish to be strong and you have full knowledge of God-level techniques that nobody knew other than other gods and angels? How does he have full knowledge of these fucking God of Destruction techniques? That's crazy. That's some nasty inconsistencies that they're doing in here that I don't rock with. Another thing, let me try to see which page this was, which YouTube channel was. This guy said something on his YouTube channel, and I was like, fuck, that's a crazy point. It never even really occurred to me until I saw him say it. And he was like, how come whenever like a hero like Vegeta transforms into the new form, like this episode, it like ends with him transforming into a brand new form, that me, someone who's watched this show since the beginning, I know this is a brand new, never seen form. But as Granola, someone who's never met Vegeta, why does he only freak out during the fucking brand new form? But when he transforms from black hair into blonde hair, blue-eyed, they're just like, all right, let's fight. As if he's seen it 100 times. He doesn't even react to the transformation. He goes from blonde hair to blue hair to red hair, and the fucking villains don't even react to it. Like, we've seen it, but these guys here, they usually don't even react to it unless a new form came that no one has ever seen, including me, the reader. And then they're like, holy shit, what's going on? How did you do that? And it's like, why didn't you think that beforehand when he did about 5 other transformations that you've also never seen before? I was like, damn, I never even thought about that. Damn, I don't know, it's not here. It's not in my history for some reason. They're trying to say that it might be for Neverworld. Let's see. Might be for Neverworld. I wanted to shout out the channel because he pointed out that point. Yep, for Neverworld. For Neverworld. He pointed out that point. How come they never freak out unless it's a brand new, never before seen fucking transformation? Even though they've never seen any of the fucking 17 different colored hair transformations these fucking fighters have gone through. They don't freak out like, oh shit, your hair's blue now. What does that mean? They don't even react. But even before Vegeta transforms into this new form, the guy's like, oh shit, I better get out of here. He already knows that something crazy is happening. He already knows before it happens, even though he's never seen anything that he's ever done before. It's crazy. It's just wild inconsistencies with Dragon Ball Super. So we just had UFC. Oh, I just got a notification about Britney. I was like, should I read it right now? I don't want to get too much into this because I'm not going to be like... I just fucking... This is Britney Spears tells LA court she wants her father charged with... Oh, that's already seen that. Yeah, Britney's trying to have her father charged with conservatorship abuse. Hopefully they free Britney. I'm not necessarily saying I hope that they imprison her father. If she feels that way, then like however that turns out, the evidence comes out for whatever. I hope whatever happens. But I hope they at least end it so that she can just be a person. You know, that's what I'd like to see. So we had UFC Vegas 32, headlined by TJ Dillashaw versus Corey Sandhagen. And ladies and gentlemen, I scored the round. I've only watched it one time. I was drinking a little bit of alcohol yesterday. I got blocked on Twitter. Got a temporary ban on Twitter because, damn, what's going to happen? Oh my God, no, it was, I guess I don't need to go to Twitter. It was like, yo, you can start your countdown by verifying your email address and yada, yada, yada. I didn't do all that. So I'm blocked on, right now I'm blocked on Twitter. I was drinking a little bit, you know, as you will. I guess this is the nicest thing to ever say to somebody. But I'm scoring this fight. And you know what I'm saying? I scored the first 2 rounds for Corey Sandhagen. And as I've heard other people talk about this fight, dissect this fight, they pretty much gave the first round to TJ. I don't know what I saw. I was planning to watch this fight again. I haven't watched it again since last night. I probably will, just to get a better understanding. I'll tweet about it if I do. When I can tweet about it. But, so, like, I tweeted that I had Corey taking the first 2 rounds, and somebody was just, like, talking shit. And then as the fight goes on, like, I had it 2-2 going into the last round. The person, like, tweets to me that Khabib had it 2-2 going into the last round. And I'm like, yo, that's exactly how I scored it. And he's like, yeah, genius, but, like, he didn't win this round. He won that round, and not and it's like, and I was like, dude, fucking kill yourself, bro. Go fucking kill yourself. And I meant it. I was, because it's just silly, bro. He's like, no, I don't agree with that he won these rounds or that round. Like, yeah, you said it's the same. Like, at the end of the day, we're going into the 5th. We have it scored the exact same. Me and greatest of all time, Khabib, have it scored the exact same way. And he's like, look at this. He's tweeting at me Khabib's fucking score. And I was like, dude, I have it scored the exact same way. And he's like, no, genius. He didn't win this round. He didn't win this round and that round. He won this round and that round. And it's like, what the fuck are we talking about here? What the fuck are we talking about? At the end of the day, me and Khabib scored that fight for TJ Dillashaw. 48-47. We scored it the same way. So I'm banned on Twitter right now. Got a temporary ban for just being too vulgar, too aggressive on Twitter. But I scored it for Dillashaw, and I remember, like, at the end of the 5th round, they were, like, both seemed, like, pretty exhausted, and I remember thinking, like, fuck, I'm not sure who won this round. And I just, like, remember TJ going forward most of the round, and I scored it for TJ. The judges scored it for TJ. And then I watched the Weasel's breakdown. If you guys are MMA fans, check out the Weasel on YouTube. And he broke down the 5th round. It was like, as he broke it down, he scored it 2-2 going into the 5th. And, like, just as I did. But he broke down how pretty much even though TJ was going forward that whole 5th round, Corey pieced him up, hit him with hard shots throughout the whole round, and that was his most dominant round throughout the entire fight. And he should have won that round on every judge's scorecard, but he didn't. He didn't win it on my score, and I'm pretty sure I saw Luke Thomas's scorecard, and I'm pretty sure he scored it for Dillashaw. It was just like live as people are watching it, and you watch Dillashaw coming forward, you kind of like, because he kept coming forward, it's almost like, with the counter punches and shit, it's almost like it gets negated, because unless you drop TJ and stop this man, he's still coming forward. So it's almost like, it almost comes off to us, especially if you've had a fruit bruise, it almost comes off like it's not doing any damage, even though he was hurting TJ. Like, if you watch Weasel's breakdown, he was really hurting TJ. TJ should have lost that fight, but he won. And you got Corey Sandhagen, who said Mick Maynard or Sean Shelby told him he still is in a position where he only needs one more win, and then he gets a title shot. And they made him pinky promise, and whatever the fuck that means. Like, are they gonna fucking honor that pinky promise? I doubt it. 3 wins later, I'm the number 1 contender. They said they were gonna give me the title shot. And I'm talking here like I told you. Does that pinky swear mean anything? I told you. That's where I'm going to be. In the co-main event, you had Kyler Phillips versus Raleigh and Paiva. And honestly, I felt like this was more of a showcase for Phillips, or that's how it was set up. And Phillips looked great in the first round, kind of. But, like, it was weird to me because I thought I was pretty high on Phillips coming up to this, but watching this fight, dude, he was like throwing these random strikes and he was like missing by like a mile. It was pretty weird, these strikes he was throwing. Like, it was like at points where he had like Paiva on the ground and like getting up like in just bad positions, and he could have really fucking hurt Paiva. But then he'd throw a punch and be like so far away from him, where it was like, dude, you could have hurt him, but you were far away from him. And he just kept throwing these random combinations, random spinning shit, and he'd be far away from him. It didn't make any sense to me. But like in the first round, I scored it a 10-8 for Phillips. All right, in the first round. Phillips almost got a finish with the end of the first round. But then after that, pretty much Phillips was just done. Paiva dropped Kyler in the second round. I gave Paiva the second round, gave Paiva the third round. So I had it a draw, but Paiva won majority decision. I think it was pretty fair there. Like, he came on strong. I felt like he was getting pretty much dominated in the first round. And then Kyler was just exhausted by that point, and he just lost the next 2 rounds. But it could be fixed. You know, there could be a lot of reasons or factors that played into why Kyler had such an awkward performance. But, yeah, he lost. So it is what it is. Most controversial fight, I would say, was Macy Barber versus Miranda Maverick. My pick was Miranda Maverick. But walking out of this fight with her hand raised was Macy Barber, controversially. I did not agree with this decision. I felt like Miranda Maverick clearly won the first 2 rounds. She lost the third round to Barber, who was just like not really doing too much. She started the fight out doing her typical shadow boxing thing. Like, she's trained for this fight with Team Alpha Male, with Uriah Faber. And at one point, like at the start of the fight, she's doing her shadow boxing thing where she's throwing these punches from far away, where it just like, it's not threatening anything. And they're doing like the coach's corner camera. And they have the camera on Uriah Faber and his people. And she's just throwing these shadow boxing punches just far away from Miranda Maverick. And like Faber's just like awkwardly like, well, you got to try to actually hit her. And like they're like, well, that was a perfect quote from Uriah Faber, you gotta try to actually hit her. Because she's just throwing these shadow boxing punches from far away that mean nothing. Meant nothing to Alexa Grasso, and it meant nothing to Miranda Maverick for the first 2 rounds. Barber was able to do something. She was able to take Maverick down for the first time. She was 1 for 6 in her takedown attempts in the fight. She was able to get her 6th attempt down. Miranda Maverick stuffed 5 of her takedown attempts. And somehow the judges gave the fight to Barber. You have fighters, UFC fighters, after the fight who were tweeting about this. Angela Hill surmised that the judges are getting paid under the table to make these terrible decisions. That's her reaction to seeing this decision. Tatiana Suarez stated that they should check and see if the judges mistook Miranda Maverick and Macy Barber, because she was saying in her previous fight with Carla Esparza, where she was like clearly dominating Esparza in the first round, one of the judges gave the first round to Esparza. He had them confused, which is just fucking wild. Derek Brunson said, "Bartender, I'll have 2 of whoever judges Maverick and Barber is having." Jessica I says they have to do something about the judging because it's robbing people of thousands of dollars and ruining their career trajectory. Like, Macy Barber did not win this fight, ladies and gentlemen, but the judges gave it to her anyway. And she's spoken out about it. She's like, yep, there was nothing wrong. Like, there should be no controversy. I won this fight. She's completely delusional. Like, I remember when she was talking about, like, yeah, I'm going to be youngest champ ever, blah, blah. And even then she lost her first fight to Roxanne Modafferi. And she ran up and grabbed the mic, even though losers don't get interviewed in that scenario. I was like, damn, she looks crazy. And then she was still talking, like, she sounded so delusional. To the point where even, like, she did an interview on Morning Combat, and then Luke Thomas was like, yo, that's borderline delusion. You know what I'm saying? Like, she sounded crazy when you're fucking, after a while, you're like, yo, this is borderline delusional. She went in and lost that fight pretty clearly, and she went in here and lost this fight. But the judges gave it to her regardless, and she still feels like, nope, I won this fight. Was it Will Harris from Anatomy of a Fighter posted an image on Instagram where it showed that Miranda Maverick outstruck her like 50 strikes. And she attempted 1 takedown, got that takedown. And as I said, Barber attempted 6 takedowns and only got the last takedown in the 5th round, but 5 of them were stuffed. And she got outstruck 50 strikes. But they somehow gave her the fight. It's pretty silly. Miranda Maverick was robbed. And, you know, it is what it is. She'll keep it moving. She'll win her next fight, I believe. I think she's a future champion, or she could be. At least a future contender. But she's a much better fighter. We can still see it there. She's a much better fighter than Macy Barber, man. Macy Barber is not rubbing me the right way, I'll tell you that much. Another fight I was super interested in was Punahele Soriano. I went with Brendan Allen. Punahele Soriano versus Brendan Allen. I went with Brendan Allen. And Brendan Allen won it. He looked amazing on the feet. He didn't really need to rely on his groundwork too much. He was better than Soriano on the feet. He looks much improved. And I went with him. I was great with it. I was happy with that pick. And I was saying, like, dude, he's a fucking warrior. Like, I was like, I know Punahele's good, but, like, Allen was hitting him with, like, nasty body kicks, like, hella body kick after body kick, and really slowed Soriano down. And then Allen's boxing was much improved. Like, he just looked great on the feet. So, man, I see Allen as a fucking problem at 185 for everybody he fights. For anybody he fights, he's a fucking problem. He said he wants to fight Sean Strickland next. I'd like to see that rematch. So next week, UFC Vegas 33, we have Uriah Hall versus Sean Strickland in the main event. There's just a weird thing about watching Uriah fight. I feel like he just doesn't really show up. And then even if he does, it's like not until like the fourth round. So like, I feel like Sean Stricker is not that much of a slow starter as Uriah is. Like, I wanted Uriah to be great, but it's just like, it's hard for me to pick him in this fight against Sean Strickland. You know? It's hard for me to pick him in this fight against Sean Strickland. And Sean Strickland, especially when he just called out fucking lame-ass Sugar Sean O'Malley. Like, fuck Sugar Sean O'Malley. I hope Sugar Sean O'Malley loses every fight he has going forward. He called out Sean for getting Tekashi 6ix9ine. He got 6ix9ine tattooed on his fucking shoulder. And Sean Strickland like, yo, are you that dumb where you're going to get the name of someone who's convicted of videotaping an underage girl? Like, Tekashi 6ix9ine was convicted of sexual misconduct with a 13-year-old girl. And Sugar Sean O'Malley was like, I love Tekashi 6ix9ine, and tattooed his fucking name on his shoulder. Dude, Sean has a daughter. Right? He's got a young daughter. And he just tattooed the name of this guy who's convicted of sexual misconduct with a 13-year-old girl. And he has a daughter. He just tattooed his name on his shoulder. I hope Sean loses every fight he has going forward. He's trash. And Sean Strickland just called it out for all the real niggas. And I'm rooting for him in this fight. So I'm going with Sean Strickland versus Uriah Hall. And Uriah Hall's just a slow starter. He's just a slow starter. And I'm going to give you guys social media. If you want to follow this podcast on Instagram and Twitter, it's at Babylon5Pod. You can follow my personal account at My Name's Jermaine. You can email this podcast at Babylon5podcast@gmail.com. You can follow this podcast at babylon5.podbean.com. You can listen to this podcast on Podbean, Stitcher, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, YouTube, my nigga, pretty much anywhere podcast stream. If you guys are on Xbox, go ahead and add me at SauceBoss414. You can add me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Babylon5. If you guys are on Discord, add me at Babylon5Pod. If you guys want to show how much you love the podcast and represent it out in the real world, let the people know, go to teespring.com/store/BOFpod-shop and cop some merchandise. Go to patreon.com/Babylon5Pod to just not be my patrons. I mean, just to not just be my Negroes, be my patrons. Be my patrons. Go to patreon.com/Babylon5Pod. And lastly, you guys, if you are on TikTok, add me at Babylon5Podcast. This has been your boy, Jermaine Event. This is episode 101. Thank you guys for being here another week. I hope you guys are taking care of yourselves and each other. And I'll see you when I see you. I'll holla.
Chant down Babylon kingdom, team make we chant down Vatican now. Bang the ling, chant down Babylon kingdom.